Welcome to your 2021 Land Rover Defender D90. It's the two-door version. It's the shorter wheelbase. Specifically, I'm with the X-Dynamic SP400, so that slots around the middle of the Defender 90 lineup. Power-wise, I have a 3-liter turbocharged engine. It's a 6-cylinder, 395 horse, 406 pound-feet of torque, all-wheel drive, all through an 8-speed automatic transmission. I am genuinely surprised at just how much power the engine has the way it's been engineered, because this isn't a light vehicle by any means. Even though it's a two-door version, it is still very big. It's very boxy, and it drives heavy. But the amount of raw power that I've felt all week is remarkable, and it goes quickly. No hesitation, it just jumps right out there. Now, I do want to mention there is a 48-volt mild hybrid system as well, which helps a little bit. I did go to Niagara, which is about a little more than an hour away, but I went with a couple of friends, and that added extra weight, and we bought a few things which also added weight on top of that as well. And it felt exactly the same with two other full-grown adults in the car with me as it did with just me on my own all week. That's my biggest takeaway on the driving dynamics side. It is just so fast and quick. The response is immediate. Yes, there's going to be a turbo lag, but it is so minuscule that it was thoroughly surprising. Kind of felt like I was 16 all over again. The first 20 minutes I was driving the car home, I put my foot on the gas and just do that gentle squeeze, and I would just lurch forward, and it's surprising. Quartering handling, again, not too bad. Now, I don't do anything crazy with this. I haven't taken this off-road this week. I haven't had a chance to, so it's been an urban test drive this week, which is a little too bad, but some things you just can't change. But as far as in city streets, taking regular turns, even going at higher speeds on the highway where you're going, let's say, westbound, and then you bank 90 degrees to the left to go south, it did really, really well. Even my passengers had commented that it's surprisingly sturdy for a very tall vehicle. You have your Eco, you have your Comfort, you have mud ruts, grass, gravel, snow, and sand, and rock crawl, and the Wade, and then there is the configurable one at the end of all that. So again, it depends on what you want, what you're doing, where you're doing it, who you're doing it with. But the versatility here through the Defender 90 and 110 for that matter really, really is impressive. One quick start-stop test, and we'll do that right now. So I will stop here. You will see that there is nothing moving in the mirrors right now. There you go. There's a light pole. All right, just full stop, and that's it. Here it goes. Sounds okay, but just the push is so strong, and you really notice it when you're doing your passing on the highway, just that power band. Once you find it, you just put your foot down, and the 90 just launches. Taking a quick look on the exterior side, I think it's impossible to miss. From the massive spare tire on the rear, to the tall, boxy shape, to the beautiful LEDs up front, the grille. For me, it's a modern take on an iconic look. And I said the same thing about the 110 when I had it, was it November last year? So about 9 months ago. I like how Land Rover has blended both old school and new school together. Got a nice clean design to it, and I haven't really had any issues with the way the 90 looks overall. And on the hood side, back to the front end, it does have those cool design plates on the edges of the hood. Onto the interior we go. Pretty much the same as we saw in my 110 review from about 9 months ago. There's a link to that review in the description, which has all the details. I'm not going to go through it again here, it's being redundant. But my thoughts on it are still the same. I like the floating infotainment system. I like the openness in front of the passenger. It's got the word Defender put in there as well. Lots of storage room here. Land Rover Canada has spec'd this with the cooler in the center console storage, which is pretty cool. It's got 2 stages, and if you're off-roading and you want a cold drink, well, Land Rover has you covered through the Defender. Steering wheel, blend of nice soft leather on your hands, and then just, not sure if you can hear that, but it's kind of a hard touch material. It's a nice blend overall. So you have soft touch here on the door panel, and then you have some harder touches there, and the bolt tops are exposed, and you have some more soft touch and just along the dash, all along up here. The HVAC system, which also has your drive modes, as well as the air suspension for raising and lowering it. Now the air suspension is a paid upgrade. It comes with coil springs, so just to let you know that. It takes a little bit of getting used to. It's a lot of controls condensed into a small area, and on the far left of that is your gear shift. And beside that, your start stop button. So again, a lot of stuff to go through, but if I can figure it out over the course of a couple of days, I don't think anyone who's driving the car for a couple of years should have any issues. Small Irk, the volume knob is all the way on the right side of that whole little console area here. I just would have left it out. It's a stretch to get to it. Like, maybe it's a first world problem. Maybe it's a J-Canna Irk, but the scroller on the steering wheel for volume controls works just fine. This also has the optional full panoramic sunroof, which I would absolutely recommend. Dark roof liner means it'll feel a little enclosed, but I've had the shade open the entire week and the sunroof open as much as possible. It just really brightens up the cabin overall. Seat comfort, very, very nice. I didn't have any fidgety moments. I didn't have any of that driver fatigue. No, I didn't do long trips. The longest one I did was with a couple of friends of mine, and we went to Niagara, and that was like an hour and a half with traffic and all that. But yeah, no driver fatigue. My passengers commented that the seats were comfortable both in the front seat as well as the rear seat. The drawback here with the 90 is it's a 2-door, and you lose a little bit of that versatility that you'd get with the 110 through the 4-door. So my lovely friend Eddie, who had to climb in and out and in and out of the rear seats every time we stopped on our trip, he didn't mind. He did just a single tab at the top of the driver's seat and just pull it in the seat. Back goes forward, and that's a little excessive. Anyways, the seat back goes forward, the seat bottom goes forward, the whole seat just moves up, and thankfully he's a small guy, so we had no issues getting in and out. In the trunk, it's a little small. The seats don't fold down flat. It's not really close to flat, so you lose some versatility there with the 90. And this isn't going to be for everybody. Like, if I had the choice as a single guy with no kids and all I'm hauling around is music gear, I would take a strong look at the 90, but I would go with the functionality of the 110. That's going to wrap it up for the review on the 2021 Land Rover Defender 90. Again, specifically with the X Dynamic SP400, which has the bigger engine. If you've got any questions on the vehicle, let me know in the comments, and I'll do my best to get you answers as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And if you think somebody might be interested in what I do, feel free to suggest the channel to them. Let me get myself in a good spot. It's a little dark. Let's get myself into a little bit of light. Add a few seconds on here. My apologies, friends. That's a little too bright. Let's go back into, there we go. There's a nice balance. All right, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate the support, and thank you for all the support over the years. Bigger and better is on the way. Until I see you next time, be well, be healthy, be safe.